Hey YouTube, I used to do a lot of pack break videos. If you're still following this channel, just retail pack break videos and stuff. And the hobby kind of got out of control there for a while. I'm still kind of in it, but more so just kind of collecting a player that I like, and that's exclusively Gabriel Davis. And seems like 2 years ago, I submitted a order for PSA. I sent it off to the guy who I normally used to buy a lot of cards from, and just said, "Hey, here's a bunch of cards that are Gabriel Davis. Can you just look at them and see which ones you think are worth grading?" And I sent them off, and waited a year and a half, and I finally got them back. In between then, I've done some SGC gradings as well, as I've bought more cards in between, but just thought I'd kind of give you my first PSA return reveal, and we can kind of compare SGC to PSA and just the whole card market in general, Panini and stuff like that. But so here's kind of one of the cards that we sent off. I had a couple of these that he examined. This is obviously a silver auto, and it only says silver prism, so that's kind of a problem, and we'll get into that with another slab here in a second that I've bought as well. But I mean, I'm probably going to crack this out. It's probably not worth what it was when it left. There's some whiting up here, whiting down here too. So I'm wondering, why my card store owner decided that this one was worth sending off, but it came back as not even in the right label, so that one's probably going to get cracked out as well. Same thing with this one, wasn't great. Got an 8. It's obviously worth more outside the slab, but a lot of whiting on the back. Corner's pretty bad there. All the corners are kind of bad. I guess he just thought, oh, it's numbered to 149, I'll send this one off. Maybe I should have just looked at them a little bit better, but I have no experience with grading up till now. So I can see why they got 8s. It's pretty good centered, and the surface is probably pretty good, but those corners really dinged it up too. Like this one's really good. I think top to bottom center on this one's a little bit off, but this one's centering all around is really nice. And we'll get into centering and grading here, like some other cards here in a second. This one, PSA 9, I was really hoping this one would come back at 10, but this one, didn't really lose any value being a 9. I'll probably keep this one slabbed. I think there's probably like 5 or 6 PSA 10s out there in the Mosaic Genesis, but I really like this card. I think I paid $80 for it. It's probably worth 100. I don't know. He's just fluctuating a lot right now because he's not getting the balls that I'm starting to think he's not really a true number 1 wide receiver. Can't really run the routes like a Stephon Diggs kind of receiver does, but I don't feel like Allen throws the ball up to him enough. But there's the only one that came back at 10. It's numbered to 249. Feel pretty good about this one. Orange really isn't a color match, but one of the lower numbered ones, I guess, you can get out of the standard hobby prism. So that's the only one that came back at 10. So that took, to get these 4 cards back, that probably took like a year and a half. Felt like 2 years, but yeah. So that was literally frustrating, and the return, obviously 2 8s, a 9, and a 10. It's not really the return that you want for a year and a half worth of waiting. But in that time, I did 2 SGC returns. This is the first one. This card I bought for, I think, 90 or 80 bucks. It's a little left to right, off-centered. It's only numbered to 10, but this card, I don't think people just really are salivating for die cuts, but I feel like this one, I'm pleased with the grade. It's a little left to right, off-centered, but surface and everything are good. I mean, obviously corners, you're looking at, 8 different corners. There's no whiting on the back of any of those, so I feel pretty good about that one. This one I just wanted slabbed. I knew I paid 20 bucks for this. This is one of the retail super short prints that you could only get in like Target blaster packs. Or not even blaster packs. I think they only came in hanger feeds. Very, very off-centered. And that dinged it up quite a bit. There's really not much You know, there's not like a bad print line or anything like that. This one just a little bit of whiting on the top, maybe. I don't know. Corners are all pretty good except for maybe that one, but I have no intention of selling this one. This is a color match. I just really wanted all the super short prints of Prism, and you'll see the rest of them here in a second, but this is one of them, and I like it, and just because it's a 7 doesn't mean that I don't like it. So I only paid like 20 bucks for this, so I feel pretty good about that one. So I sent these off as my first SGC. Again, they came back in like a month compared to 18 months for PSA. This was the second SGC return, SGC submission that I did. Got a 10 in this, so that means I have a 10 SGC and a 10 in PSA for this, for the orange version. Felt pretty good about that one. I mean, this second return was just lights out. I mean, this is out of 75 green scope. That card just looks awesome in person. Really, really like this one. And it's numbered to 75, so 30 of 75 there. That one's an awesome card. Perfectly centered, really like it. This one would have been nice to get a 10 on this one. Still trying to find the flaw. Cracked ice, numbered to 99. Card looks really good. Almost a color match, but yeah, that one's out of 99, 38 out of 99. I guess some of the corners, a little whiting, a little bit of whiting on that corner, so I can kind of see some of the imperfections, but that one's really nice. Really like that card. This is another one of the super short prints. I think I paid $160 for this one. Sent off and got it graded. There's a PSA online right now for sale. That's a PSA 10. That's probably like for 500 bucks. Again, I really like the super short prints. They're kind of my just personal collection that I really just wanted to have all of. So that's number 2. So I guess if you want to break the red out of the retail of the super short prints that come from Prism, here's 2 of them. We'll get to the other ones in a second. And then I bought this one offhand for like 50 bucks. So that's just nice to have if you're trying to make a collection out of it. And then I bought this one. I think I paid $180 for this. Really like it. This one's a little bit, I think there's a couple of PSA 10s out there of this one, but I mean, that's just a sexy card. The color match white on white with the Contra. Really love that one. Here's the other one. I probably overpaid for this one. Paid $300, PSA 10. This is the dark blue. Now going back to how PSA will miss slab things. Obviously with this one, it is a silver Prism Auto, not with the right label on it. This one, the numbers for the populations on these are a little bit skewed because the light blue prisms, they slabbed a bunch of the light blue prisms, these are retail hanger only. These are retail super short. These are short print. These are super short print. Some of these are in blue prism slabs as PSA 10. So I have a post about this on one of the message boards, I think Blowout Forums, about this. And there's probably only about 3 of these in existence, maybe only 2 that are legit blue, dark blue prisms. And even though it says there's probably like 10 of them out there, that's not right. Again, I paid $300 for that one. That's probably overpaying for it. I definitely overpaid for one of these. This is a snakeskin. This one's off center. I paid like $260 for this. I mean, the guy had it listed at like $450. I just like threw it out there just because. I might get this slab, might not. It's not going to add any value to it. A little whiting in some of the corners, but I just really wanted, like, you can definitely see, like, even right here how off center it is, left to right. Again, this is just, the only one I'm missing now is probably white sparkle in the super short print versions. So yeah, that's definitely overpaid for these 2. I feel like I got good deals on these. And then just the rest of the collection, these are just base retail prisms, just base kind of adding to the collection. Got them all for pretty good prices at certain times. But this I got in a break. This I paid like 60 bucks for, and this is 4 out of 7. This is like, I guess, a first off the line exclusive. And I guess I thought that it was going to have like an acetate look to it. I just don't like this card. It is just a plain Jane card. I was expecting this to be like an acetate kind of like inlay or something like that. And this card is just not cool. Probably overpaid for that. Really don't care much for this card at all. 4 out of 7, it's the lowest number one I have, but it's just, you know, if you're wanting a rare card, it's a rare card, but it's not really worth anything. I like this one. I think I'm going to buy some more of his UCF stuff that has like the nicer patches. And then I like the dirty patches. And like, this is a problem with Panini. These patches are clearly used in some way, shape, or form. Clearly. And yet they can't say that they're from any kind of game used or not. So, you know, you can get these for cheap because they're not certified game used. These are both second year cards. I think this is second year, this is third year. I mean, they're obviously coming from some kind of jersey. This one even has a little bit of dirt on it too, right there. But yeah, so that's my Gabriel Davis collection. I mean, it's dirty up here too. And yeah, so PSA return, not great. SGC I've had a little bit more luck with. If you can find a white sparkle for like, I'm keeping watch out for them. That's the last one that I want for my personal collection. I think that'll pretty much do it. I don't really have any interest in buying any of the golds. They're just going to be too much. But yeah, so that's my Gabriel Davis. Hopefully he, you know, Bills win the Super Bowl, but he's who I'm collecting, and that's my collection so far.